What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on the jump, they're going to be talking about is Steph Curry in his mid-prime. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Welcome back to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols, still here with Paul Pierce, David Fizdale. It is time for one of our favorite games here on The Jump, BS or Real Talk. We give you the quotes. You tell us how true you think they are. So starting with Steph Curry, who was asked about Tom Brady's longevity ahead of the Super Bowl. Much like Brady, Curry believes he can have an extended prime. Here's Curry when asked about championship windows. Take a listen.
So I do believe Steph Curry's in his early mid-prime.
You're thinking this year and next year, and you're thinking, with Clay coming back, you're thinking about all those different things. But right now, who's to say, we can't put pieces together? We have, I'm in the middle of my prime and thinking about, just all the things that we've gone through over the last 4 or 5 years that we can kind of build on. Who's to say? It's hard to say what the actual, number is, but I think we're in a good spot right now. Let's put it that way.
You just said you feel like you're in the middle of your prime. How far do you think you can stretch that for?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, so I'd say Steph Curry's in his early mid-prime. He has a lot more basketball to play, especially with, Clay coming back. They'll get a couple other guys. They'll definitely have enough time to make another run. I mean, he might get another championship before it's all said and done, if not a couple more championships.
Paul, Steph said he feels like he's just in his 20s, saying he's in the middle of his prime. Do you think that's BS or real talk?
That's real talk. He's an all-time player, Rach, and all-time players find a way each and every year. His prime, he doesn't rely on a lot of athleticism. The way he handles the ball, the way he shoots, he can be doing this for another 6, 7 years. I truly believe that. If they get some pieces around him, the magic can happen for them again.
Yeah, it's like you said, Steph Curry's his game's not necessarily circled around, being super athletic and doing all these crazy dunks on that. He's just a pure shooter, and he can last a long time just being a pure shooter. And like I said, with everybody coming back next year, they'll definitely have more than enough time to make a run.
Yeah, this is real talk. I mean, you think about it. We comparing him to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is showing everybody with technology and science and everything we know about nutrition that these guys can play long into their 40s now. And so that's a contact sport. You telling me Steph Curry can't do it in the NBA with the way that he plays the game, and his game, again, like Paul said, is based on a lot of skill and shooting and things like that. I don't see why it couldn't be. This guy, when he got hurt, it wasn't like he got old man injuries. He had a real injury that happened, freakishly. And so This guy's going to come back and pick up where he left off. We've already seen him have big games, and as they put those pieces back together, like he said, we're going to be talking about Golden State like we usually do.
I mean, certainly.
Exactly. And Steph Curry seems like the type of guy that takes care of himself. He doesn't get fat on the off season. He doesn't drink or do anything like that. So I think he can definitely stretch his career out to being in his 40s. And again, his whole thing's not about being athletic. He's just a pure shooter. It doesn't take much to shoot the rock. I don't want to take anything away from him, but it doesn't take much for him to shoot the rock. And his accuracy and all that's only going to get better the more mature he gets. So he definitely has a lot more time to play. And I think he's in his early mid-prime at this point in time. I hope that makes sense. But he has a lot more basketball to play, good basketball to play.
The way Curry plays does lend itself to an old man game. Not that he needs to have one right now. He's still way too young for that. But the point is, his game is going to age well in the league. The question with him was the injuries. And Fizz, you're right. It's not because he had sort of old and creaky injuries, but there was a point in his career he was injury prone. And certainly right now, without Clay active on the court, teams are going at him. They're double and triple teaming him. They are physically roughing him up. So the only concern I would have is, is that kind of thing going to take a wear and tear on him or reignite some sort of injury that hasn't surfaced in years and years? But I don't expect it to. I expect Steph Curry to be Steph Curry. And again, the way he plays basketball tells me that prime is going on for a long, long time.
Yes, indeed.